time before. This is about again variation. And what is variation? What is Six Sigma? What is Three Sigma? Do you understand this? Have you seen this graph in your elective? Who are doing statistics? Have you seen this typical graph in your elective in your book? Yes or no? What is this? What is LSL? What is USL? See, in automotive language, everything what we do. For example, I do this, this is the duster. I do this, I have got some specification. What is the specification? What is the length? What is the breadth? What is the thickness? This is a rectangle, simple rectangle. So for length, what is the specification? So the specification has two limits. LSL is the lower specification limit. USL is the upper specification limit. So every job, every dimension, every geometry what we do in automotive, in engineering has got specification. So what we measure your process is against your specification. So the difference between upper specification limit and lower is also called as tolerance. What is called the tolerance for that process. So what you measure your process is against the tolerance. So that's what is given here. So LSL, USL. Okay, these are generally the companies in the world who are doing Six Sigma. If you look at Toshiba, you look at almost all the companies in the world, the famous names you will see here. In fact, Sony, Xerox, everybody. So in different industries they are practicing. DuPont, a chemical company, everybody is practicing. This is only a small list. There are more than at least 1,000 companies who are actively participating in Six Sigma all over the world. So this, as you see here, whenever you do a Six Sigma project, as I told you, you are talking about a baseline. What is baseline? What are we doing today? That is baseline. For example, if I am getting only 60 marks, that is my baseline. Where I want to go, traditional goal setting. For example, if you see the second one, traditional goal setting, we'll say from 60. If your parents ask you what happened next year, next semester, what you'll score, you'll generally say, I'll score 65. You'll be very, very conservative. You will not say I'll score 90, right? So yes, I score 65. So that is traditional goal setting. But in Six Sigma, traditional goal setting is not accepted. You go for a breakthrough. You say 60, next time I go to 90. So that is Six Sigma type of goal setting where you want to achieve breakthrough improvements. Okay, this is a simple statistical function. What is called as y is equal to f of x. So y is the output of the target what you want to achieve. It is f is function. Y is equal to function of different variables. So what you see is x1, x2, x3, x4, they are all called as dependent variables. That means the y, the output is dependent on this is x. So I will ask you a simple question. If you want to score more, if you want to score more in exam, that is the target. What is that is the dependent variable. What are the x1, x2, x3, x4? Can somebody tell me? If you want to score higher marks in an exam, what are the dependent variables? x1, x2, x3, x4. I'm just saying one particular topic. Maybe your relative is statistical process control. I don't know the relative's name. In that you want to score more. What all will contribute? In this x1, x2, x3, x4. Yeah, then slips, okay, if your college allows that, fine. Help, okay. Then study material very good, then smart work, okay, then attempting well, very good, then see, please think. See, I am telling you Six Sigma is about process thinking. I am giving a simple thought which is applicable to you. Please think what all will contribute. Okay? Sorry, then when I was doing B, we used to do one thing. We will not study during the semester. 1 week, 1 month before the semester, we will go to the library. We will take all the question paper in the last 10 years. General theory is, very conservative theories, if you take last 10-year question paper and read, you will very simply pass. Will you not do that? You don't do that? Syllabus is changing every year or what? Okay? So what are your options? See, why I am saying is, you have to think in that way. You have to say, I have to score better marks in this, or I want to be, at 90 or 95. What should I do? See, just map it. This is called process mapping. You map the process. What all should I do? What all I am doing today? What all I should do? So this is what all I do today is called as this. This is what I am doing today. What all I want to do is called to be, future state, current state and future state. You map the process and see what is possible for you to do. So that is all about process thinking. So see here, this explains completely about the Six Sigma process. So I told you define, measure, analyze, improve, control. So this is called a funneling or a filtering effect. So when I asked you what should I do, what should you do to get better marks, you gave me a lot of ideas, like 5 ideas or 10 ideas. Initially, there is a technique called brainstorming, where you come with all idiot or silly ideas, no problem. You come with a lot of ideas. Then you put it to the filter. In the measure phase, what you see is what is really possible, what is really not possible. You measure and filter it, then you go to the next phase. When you say analyze, you have to see what are you doing before and after with particular thing. For example, you say smart work. What do you mean by smart work? What were you doing before, what were you doing after? After you started doing smart work, is there a difference? You have to analyze it. This is where some statistical tools will help you to see, validate what you are doing and will give you some results. So in the analyze phase, we try to reduce and narrow focus only on 3-4 ideas, which is really okay. Then improve. Improve is to optimize. Improve is only to work on 2-3. As you see here, it starts with 30 inputs, then it comes to 10, 15, 8, 4, finally only 3 ideas. When you start with 20 ideas, you will finally end up only with 3 ideas. For example, recent Olympics, in the Rio Olympics, we participated. How many Indian contingent went to Rio? Any idea? Close to 100 or 110, I think. Now, how many medals we got? Why? The same effect. So you started with 1 or 2 prospects. You apply the same Six Sigma model there. How much you started? You started with 1 or 3 or 1 or 4, thinking all the 1 or 4 will win at least 1 medal. Right? That is a positive thinking. But where we ended? Finally, 1 silver, 1 bronze. So even to get 1 silver and 1 bronze, we need to go with 110 people. That too with a lot of hard work. So the same applies everywhere. When you talk about hockey, we have been world champions some years before, now we are studying. Even to go to quarterfinals, we are studying. So that means the process what we are doing, the ideas what we are doing is not enough for us to go and win again in the international competition. So somebody has to go back and think. There is a team called, I think, Olympic Gold Quest, something like that, I forgot. Padakone is leading there. So they are trying to see why we are not able to get medals in. See, that is also, in a way, a Six Sigma approach. What others are doing, what we are not doing. When US is able to get gold medals, when China is able to get gold medals, why not us? So now, Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi has started this initiative so that at least he is taking another 2 years, 8 years, not the next Olympics. The year, that is 2024, let us see how to win medals. So you need to plan for 8 years, not just 1 or 2 years. You have to see a lot of WhatsApp and Facebook videos how China is practicing. Many of you might have seen. Small children will be hanging a bar, they will be hanging upside down. So they are practicing from the age of 2 or 3. So everything is process thinking. They are thinking what should be done, what is the best way, and what is required to get a goal medal. Further, it is a journey. So Six Sigma is also a journey. It is not possible in 1 or 2 days. There are very few companies coming to India. There are very few companies who are practicing Six Sigma because it is not that easy. You cannot expect results immediately the next day. It is a long process. You have to learn the tools. You have to apply. A project in Six Sigma takes generally 6 months to 1 year. In WAPCO, in the last 3 years, I have been doing this. In my role, I train all of them. I am a master black belt. I train all the people in Six Sigma methodologies. Now there are 44, what we call as green belts. When I say green belts, they know what is Six Sigma, what are the tools, and they are able to apply in a practical situation also. And by practicing Six Sigma, we reduce the variation. We save a lot of money to the company. Business results. So that is how we focus in Six Sigma in a company, in an industrial environment. But in India, there are very few companies who are practicing Six Sigma because it is time taking. Second, it involves a lot of statistics. These two are the main elements in Six Sigma. Okay, as I told you, project definition, process measurement, process analysis, process improvement, process control. So it's all about process. First, you have to define correctly what you want to become. If somebody in this room says in 2024, I want to win an Olympic gold in some of the event, then your D-Day starts today, define today, then start working from tomorrow. So as I told you, 8 years is not enough for you to achieve your dream. Because the competition what you are going to face, you don't know. How many people all around the world will emerge as champions in the next 8 years, you don't know. Most of you know Sachin Tendulkar, how he started. Nobody, even Sachin Tendulkar did not think that he will become like, a god in cricket. He was playing in Mumbai in a very small stadium with Vinod Kambli. Vinod Kambli was much better than Sachin Tendulkar when he started playing. Maybe again you would not have watched those matches. I don't know whether you saw in highlights. Vinod Kambli went to England. He scored back-to-back double centuries at that time. But Tendulkar did not even start the innings. But Tendulkar took his own time. He saw what he should do, where he should be. He positioned himself. By the way, he did not even pass 10th standard. He's not an engineer. We all think generally engineers are the greatest people. He's not an engineer. So he applied a lot of thought, a lot of perseverance. And in the last 20 years, you know what all he did. He became like a god in cricket, and whatever he did, it goes into history. So what I am saying is, it took 20 years for Tendulkar to reach that magical number of 10,100 centuries. It's not that easy. Whether he thought initially or not, I don't know. But at least he had a vision that he wants to become the first person to score 100 centuries. Now we are saying Virat Kohli will break, or whoever, I don't know. There are different names. They will break Tendulkar's record. Will they make or not? I don't know. But if they want to break, really they need to plan in this way. What I want to do, what should I do every year? You cannot do 10,000 in 1 year. It's not possible. So it all depends on how many tests you are playing, how many one day you are playing. Everything has to be planned. And you need to be very, very consistent. In fact, I talked about 6 Sigma standard deviation. If you talk about many people you would have seen between Sachin Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid. Who is more consistent? How do you say that? How do you say that? What did I tell you? 6 Sigma is all about facts. What are the facts with which you say Dravid is more consistent than Sachin Tendulkar? I have enough data. I used to tell these numbers in my class. So I don't have those numbers here. To go back and see in Google, take any 1 year. Take any 1 year, test matches, take actually every inning score of Dravid. Take the every inning score of Tendulkar and see the standard deviation. Standard deviation is very simple. Put the data, go to Excel and say standard deviation, give you standard deviation. So you don't need to calculate. Every year what they played, Dravid has got a lesser variation, lesser 6 in sigma than Sachin Tendulkar. So that shows by fact that Dravid is more consistent than Tendulkar. So when we talk in statistical language, consistency or stability comes only from sigma, standard deviation. But okay, Dravid was not able to score more runs. Tendulkar did that. That is different. But who is consistent? It is always Dravid. So that's why he is called the Wall Dravid. So that's what in 6 Sigma language we already talk about consistency. You score 60, 70 in one semester. Suddenly you score next semester 90 marks. I don't say you are consistent. You have gone to a new baseline. But you need to prove that you are consistent by scoring consistently 90. Whatever you do, you have to be consistent. So that is what the course is. So that only will give you improvement. If you go up and down, what we call as a sine curve, then you are not learning. What you are learning is only a fluke. What you scored 90 in a semester is maybe by slips you said. It's only a fluke. It is not consistent. Or we have to find a way consistently to have slips. Right? Okay, I have to go into the details. This is a flow chart. See, this is very, very important. See, everything in 6 Sigma we talk the practical problem. Practical problem is a problem what you face. Then we convert that into a statistical problem. What is the statistical problem? As I told you, y is equal to f of x. What is y? Y is my target. X are the dependent variables that will affect your target. And then get a statistical solution. This is with the use of tools what we have in 6 Sigma. We have a lot of tools with which we measure, analyze, improve and then control. Then finally, you have to convert into practical solution. Because if you talk in statistical language, everybody will not understand. In an industry background, if we talk everything about statistics, my MD will not agree. He says, what are you saving? What are you doing to the company? Show me the savings, practically. Or show me the reduction and variations. Show me that we are improving customers. So everything, whatever I do, finally I have to connect to practical solution. I start with the practical problem, Apply statistics, apply Six Sigma tools, come to practical solution. So this is what is the important cycle in Six Sigma. Again, most of the time, you always know that when you go to any match, cricket or football or volleyball, whatever it is, there will be a senior or a leader. If you say, so that is what is called as intuition, gut feeling, or what I think. You always think I am the best. So it's all the gut feeling, I do, I think. So most of the time you become only by thought. You think you are the best. You think this will work, but it may not work. So it is only Six Sigma is not about gut feeling or intuition. It's all about facts and data. And you know, the problems vary from simple to complex. When I say simple, you are able to do it immediately. We call it just do it. You don't need Six Sigma, just do it. It is called simple problems. We take Six Sigma for complex problems, not for simple problems. So don't accept statements like I think the problem is. It doesn't go with your personal thinking, your wishes or gut feelings. It is more applying systematic problem solving. Okay, we talk about leaderships. As I told you, in any company, in any industry or even any university, it only starts with the leader. Your HOD or your dean or your principal, if they don't believe in these concepts, then it will not work. So it always starts with good leadership, then inspires the need for a common vision, encourages others. You have to encourage others, finally enables others. So these four challenges, inspiration, encouragement, enabling. These four are very, very important in a leadership. Because in my company, if my CEO doesn't believe in Six Sigma, then I cannot do anything. In my capacity as Six Sigma leader, I cannot do anything. So my role is to facilitate to people how to work on a Six Sigma methodology. But inspiration has to come from the leader. Okay, setting clear expectations for breakthrough improvement, achieving excellence, creating a one company. That is, Six Sigma generally is the way of work. It is not for one team or one group of people saying only they will do Six Sigma, others will not do Six Sigma. Today in industry we talk about Six Sigma in all functions. Every function in a company has to adapt Six Sigma methodology. We reduce variation, whatever they do in the process. So that is the culture what we do generally in institutions, which will embrace a Six Sigma culture. So that's all about what I have today. I know it's like, blind man looking at the elephant. Six Sigma is a very new concept. In fact, some of the universities like maybe SRM, we are trying to put Six Sigma as a small module. We have some credit courses, right? We call it credit courses. We are trying to put credit courses just to, in one semester, taking you through this complete define, measure, analyze, improve, control, doing some projects, coming to companies like Vapo or some other companies. Then you will understand what is Six Sigma. You will be part of a team, trying some strategy tools, and that will also help in your semester, your credit mechanism. I don't know whether you have credit courses here in Winter. Some other universities are talking to us to see how to inculcate this culture within the students. Because when you go for your interviews, campus or off campus, this will be very, very useful because understanding the Six Sigma tools practically, not bookish, not just be reading your books and getting some marks, that will not help you. Practically understanding Six Sigma helps you a lot in your curriculum. Right? Any questions?